Happy sunrise. Welcome. I'm just going to give it a few moments to see if anyone comes into the chat room. I wasn't planning on having a session this morning. Things have been really busy this week. I have an extra person in the house every morning, and so he's not at school because it's autumn break, and so it's a little difficult to navigate the little ones. So I figured it'd be easier to just do a session when he is in bed at night. But then I, kind of felt like I should try to come on. So if you can just give me a moment. I just had my glasses. Of course I did. I had the glasses and then I put them away. Happy sunrise, Renaissance women. Happy sunrise, Teresa. Happy sunrise, Gnostic Spirit. Thank you for being here. I hear there is a chocolate lab and a blonde lab next door. Siblings, sisters. And they like to growl at each other. So I don't know if you can hear that. But anywho, I'll just give it a minute or two. Thank you all for being here. So I hope you were able, from Osaka, Macabre Menace. Macabre Menace. It's so hard to pronounce that, but I know who you are. Welcome, Sterling. So anyway, let's see. It was 2 nights ago. Check out the K2 Heaven on Earth video that Chris Monet and I did. And I wasn't able to come on yesterday. I was feeling quite low in spirit. The previous night, after I finished the second video, that night I found out that a friend of mine had passed away. And it wasn't unexpected or suddenly. Unfortunately, this friend had cancer. It was pretty terrible. So, it was just, I was kind of off yesterday, a little sad and down. And, there's some people who will say, well, if your spiritual life is in order and everything is fine, then you shouldn't have bad days or you shouldn't be down. You should know. It's like, no, I don't believe that. We're human beings and we have emotions and we have ranges of emotions. And I definitely do not believe in suppressing emotions. If you're feeling a certain way, allow those emotions to come out, just be. And that was sort of how I felt yesterday. And, sometimes, believe it or not, when we do these videos, and especially if it's a heavy subject or whatever, it can kind of be a little draining. So I was already feeling a little bit drained. And plus, I went to bed at 11:30 or midnight and whatever. But anyway, I thank you all for your condolences. And I understand that it's part of life. As my mother reminds me, it's just a part of life. It's what happens when you're born. And I understand that, but you still have your emotions. So yesterday I spent a lot of time. I had a couple of clients, and then I spent a lot of time with my little one, who is 7 years old and quite imaginative and active. So if any of you saw my Facebook post yesterday, we were walking to the post office to drop a package in the mail for Sarah L. in Iceland. And as we're walking there, he started saying, "This is a scientist dab." And I was like, what are you talking about? It's like, this is a dab for the scientists. It's my DNA dab. And I was like, DNA? What? He's like, yeah. So he did like the way he did it, his arms just kind of flowed into each other like the double helix. And I'm looking at him. So he makes his arms into the double helix and then he does a dab in it. And I'm like, what? You know what DNA looks like? So I posted that on my Facebook page if you get a chance to see it. It was quite amusing, but you're not surprised because one of his older brothers is in physics, and the other is a cognitive scientist. So I'm not surprised that he'll probably follow in their footsteps. And the one brother is a musician. So anyway, he is a very creative little spirit. So let's see, who do we have on this morning? And let's see, let me let Chris Monet know that we're on. Okay, I just sent her a message to let her know. Because I had initially told Tris that I didn't think I'd be able to do any videos, but I do have a cranial sacral class coming up starting on Friday, which means I'll be busy the entire weekend. So the little voice is like, go ahead and make a morning video. But I'd like to welcome everyone here. Welcome Rainbow. Welcome Denise James. Welcome Seven Serpents. Welcome Anna and everyone else that I already welcome. Happy sunrise. So I want to take a moment to take a nice centering breath. Nice deep breath. Okay, welcome. So I just wanted to come on right quick before I have to run off to see my clients, just looking for the crystals that I wanted to introduce you today. This is a very common one, but it's a beautiful one nonetheless, and I thought I'd bring it on. Welcome, Michelle. So our crystal for the day is hematite. So this is hematite. This is one of my favorite. It just looks so sci-fi and otherworldly. So this is hematite. There we go, hematite. Welcome, lemon. So this is hematite. We have a hematite wand, and I think this one is magnetic. And maybe someone in the chat room knows how they make hematite magnetic. I know there's probably some type of iron. I don't know, iron or metal, some kind of something in there that helps them to become magnetized. But I guess there's something you can do to mess with the molecules or whatever in hematite that all of a sudden makes it magnetic. So anyway, these are hematite. And so we're going to look up in Love is in the Earth. We'll check out and see what Love is in the Earth and the Book of Stones have to say about hematite. And I have a confession to make. I do not like prepare for these. You know, it's like totally off the cuff. So I appreciate you bearing with my what do you call it? Disorganization. Let's see, hematite. H comes before J. H and H-I. H comes before I. Okay. Hold on. Hematite. All right. So I'll hold up the wand. Hematite. I almost see a mirror in it. I'm going to have to take the little one to Crystal Cave because he's trying to take this away from me. I'm going to have to go buy one for him. He actually has an entire treasure. I'm looking at it right now across from me, a wooden treasure box full of all different types of crystals. Okay, so hematite. Hematite can be called a stone for the mind. It helps one to sort out things in one's mind and can be used for mental attunement, memory enhancement, original thinking, and technical knowledge. It assists one in mathematical pursuits and in the development of both mental and manual dexterity. And let's see, although this stone enhances mental capability, it provides for a calming atmosphere concurrently, and in addition, encourages one to reach for the sun. It helps one to realize that the only limitations which exist are those self-limiting concepts. And let me turn my phone over because that's when clients start calling me and texting me. So I don't want to get distracted. Okay, let's see. It helps one to realize that the only limitations which exist are those self-limiting concepts within the mind. It is also capable of helping the body to remain cool or dispelling heat at a physical level. It facilitates the balancing of the yin-yang energies, utilizing, in addition, the magnetic qualities of the energy to balance the meridians within the body and to provide a stable equilibrium between the ethereal nervous system and the physical nervous system. It assists in focusing of energy and emotions for balance between mind, body, spirit, and the dissolution of negativity, transforming the negativity in the dissolved state to the purity of universal light of love. Okay, it's helps with peace, self-control, inner happiness, conducive to enabling one to enter into a loving relationship. Of course, loving relationship with yourself first. It has been said to attract kind love. It helps one attain a soft meditative state, providing for smooth grounding and bringing tranquility and emotional clarity. And it vibrates to the number 9. And remember what we said about 9. 9 is the number of truth. Hold on one second. 9 is the one number that you can add it into itself, into 999,999 billion. You add them all up, add them all up, add them all up, and you're going to come right back down to 9. Yep, try it. Put that 999 billion. I'm not even sure how many zeros that is. Does anyone know how many spaces are in? I didn't even know what the technical term is. For a billion, how many zeros are in a billion? Okay, so we're going to look up hematite. Hematite magnets. Oh, here's some hematite magnets. And I actually have, can you see that? Yeah, I have a set of those somewhere. And Denise says, because when I said that I don't really have everything planned. Only thing I planned, yes, Renaissance woman and Sterling. Yes, 9 is a magical number. I love the number 9. 9 is a completion before the next dimension. 9 is Emet, which is truth. But Denise, I said that I usually don't. Only thing I have planned is what crystal I'm going to bring, because I bring them over here. But other than that, everything else is just like, what am I going to do? And it just reminds me, because I always tell people, younger people, or even sometimes when I'm speaking with clients and people who feel like, oh, I don't have my life together and this or that. I said, look, it's okay. All of us, are just trying to make it in this world and figure out what our place is. And when you see these people walking up and down the street and they seem on the outside, everything is in perfect order and they got their life together, we all have our stuff. Nothing and no one is perfect. And anyone who claims that everything just runs smooth and they never have any self-doubt, they don't have any down moments, either they're lying to you or they're suppressing so much and they're completely deluding themselves. I'm just saying. I think I've lived long enough that, I can be a witness to that. And Gnostic Spirit says, off the cuff is best. Don't let the right hand know what the left hand is doing. That is so true. I actually do better. Like, sometimes I do need an outline, you know, I need an outline, or I can go all off a tangent, but I could never, like when I've done classes or not lectures, but sharing information, I can't use cards or a pre-written speech. I need an outline, but then whatever comes up, comes up. It's like with my Buddhist ministers group, every now and then my sensei's teacher, my sensei's wife will, and she's probably his teacher too. She's all of our teacher. I call her sensei as well. Adrian sensei will send me a message and say, Tamu Hoyo sensei, because my Dharma name is Hoyo, can you do a Dharma glimpse for this Sunday's program? And they are on Blog Talk Radio, Bright Dawn Sangha, if you want to check them out. And I'm like, okay, sure. And I usually pre-record mine, because, you know, I told you that sometimes I stutter, and I'd hate to be on their show and end up stuttering, so I pre-record it. So, so I'll wait until the very last minute, like the day before the show. And then I'm like, what am I going to talk about? What's going to come up? And then, you know, I'll think of whatever that lesson that popped into my mind that I needed to learn, you know, where it smacks you right in the face and it says, you know, you need to wake up and figure this out. So then I'll have that idea in my head, and then I'll start talking, blah, 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 for the 10-minute recording, and send it to her. And she's like, wow, that was really great. Can you send us the what you wrote? And I was like, I didn't write this. And she's like, you talked all that and you didn't write it? And so one time I had to sit and transcribe everything I wrote. That was not fun. It was not fun. But anyway, so let's look up hematite. Okay, hematite. So let's hold up a different piece. Let's hold up a different piece. If you do a Google search on numerology, on the numbers, you'll come up with all of the meanings from 0 to 9, or 0 to 10, 0 to 9. So this is a polished piece. And in this picture, you see that picture? That kind of shows you what a raw piece of hematite, which kind of looks like pyrite. Okay, so hematite. Keywords: grounding, manifestation, making the spiritual physical, element earth, chakras root, and for hematite magnets, they correlate with all of the chakras. Sorry, I had to look at my clock because I do have a client coming soon, so I just want to make sure I don't go over my time. So hematite is the most effective of all stones for grounding. So you can use this for your root chakra. You can also use this, you know, you might see people wearing magnetic hematite around their wrist because it helps with circulation or joint pain, all of that. Let's see, hematite is the most effective stone for grounding oneself in the body and the physical world. It can counteract spaciousness and confusion, helping one to see practical concerns and moving forward with useful action. And hematite can be used to balance the auric field and align the chakras, pulls straight energies down through the meridian systems to the root chakra. So it's pretty. This is a wonderful all-purpose stone. So that's hematite. And I even have like tiny little nuggets. These are so cute. They're like, reminds me of little drops of liquid metals. I remember back when the second Terminator came out. Remember that liquid special effects? That was like 1991, I think. Or 89 or 90. That was like all the rage. Let's see. Magnetic hematite was really cool. You can see those. I have a set of those. And you can actually hold one here and one there, and you can feel it, that magnetism vibrating, rolling over your hand. It's really, really cool. Really cool. Okay, So let's go ahead and take out our Goddess Oracle. Happy sunrise, Lee. Happy sunrise. This is Goddess Oracle. It's to help us connect with an aspect of the divine feminine of ourselves. So, like I mentioned before, not sure if I won't be on, probably won't be on this weekend because of my craniosacral class that's coming up. Tonight, I hope to have on Barbara DeLong to discuss her cards, the Cosmic Deck of Initiation. So that should be a wonderful program. Later tonight at 8:30. We have to get the Google Hangout set up, and hopefully we'll be able to do that. So, Newt. Happy sunrise, Gary. So, Newt, isn't that a beautiful, regal image of Newt? Look at that. Just soak that in. Absolutely beautiful. There is Newt. Wonderful, ancient, Kemetic goddess energy. Goddess energy. Okay. So, what is the message? I see you, Gary. Yeah, Gary, we're trying to let go of these words that have these dual meanings, these dual vibrations like morning and morning. Which actually, Gary, was the reason why I wasn't on yesterday. I was actually in a sort of a morning. I was a little bit worn out from the night before. I was up pretty late because I did the 2 videos. And then before I went to sleep, I found out that a friend had passed away. And yesterday morning, you ever wake up and just like, you feel like you're on the wrong side of the bed. You woke up. That's how I felt. First thing in the morning, I kind of felt like I got up on the wrong side of the bed. And, you know, a lot of times, and when I share with people, I'm not into shaking an emotion off, you know, just allow it to run its course and do its thing, because whatever you suppress, it's still there. And, you know, it could build up like a volcano. So yesterday, that's why I didn't do any videos yesterday. I was just overall just, you know, that low kill. But, you know, Gary said good morning and then changed it. Oh yeah, good morrow. Trying to let go of these spells that we cast on ourselves. You know, we don't, when the new day has dawned and the sun has risen and we tell someone good morning, it's like we're putting them into a state, that vibration of morning. I mean, it's basically pronounced the same, except for the AM, the sunrise, the word morning doesn't have the U, but it still sounds the same. So there's a lot of people who work on that language and make sure that whatever words they're choosing to use, you know, have a higher vibration and a higher frequency to them. Welcome, bright Celtic moonlight. Welcome. Happy sunrise. Happy sunrise. Welcome, Chris. Yeah, I had told, like I said, I told Chris that I wasn't going to be able to do morning, but little man is keeping himself occupied this morning. And since I wasn't going to be here this weekend, I thought I'd try to get a few in. So our goddess for today is Newt. Newt. So here we go. Newt. Mystery. Mystery. Reach for me. Touch me. I am always beyond your grasp. Don't try to figure me out, for you can't. I am the ever-present, unfathomable unknown. I am the immensity of the star-filled night. I am beyond human comprehension. In the vastness of my being, I am a mystery even to myself. Nut is the Egyptian goddess, the ancient Kemetic goddess of the night sky, also known as the Great Deep, the celestial vault, who daily gives birth to the sun each morning, each sunrise, then consumes it again each night. Disapproving of the incest of Nut as she lay out over her brother Geb, the earth, Ra, the sun or high god, had them pried apart. Nut was then lifted into the sky where she remains, her body formed into an arch, painted inside the inner lid of a sarcophagus. She mothers and protects the dead on their journey. Meaning of the card: Nut's twinkling, vast, dark vault stretches out in your life to remind you to open to the mystery. Have you been planning every aspect of your life and left no room for mystery? Is your life wound up too tight? Are you trying to make everything safe by defining it, labeling it, knowing it all? Give way to the mystery, the unknown. The wise woman knows there is much in the universe that will remain a mystery and leave space for it in the weaving of her life. Newt says the way to nurture wholeness is for you to trust that the mystery you let in will be exactly what you need for your journey to wholeness. Newt. There we go. Newt. Oh my gosh, isn't she beautiful? I can't tell if those are braids or dreadlocks that she has. Absolutely stunning. Newt. So that is Newt. I apologize for not being able to hold my hand perfectly still. So that is Newt. Okay. Gotta figure out where the deck is. Oh, and I wanted to share about this card as I was reading it. It just reminded me of my son, my eldest son, he's in grad school, his first year of grad school now. But I remember when he was a teenager, and this might have been his junior year in high school. We were standing outside in the backyard late at night. He asked me to come outside with him and wanted to look up at the sky, at the night sky. And it looked very much like this. And we were standing out there, and he just looked up and he's just like, wow. He's like, and he was a little bit frustrated. And he's like, I just really wish there was a law that every night we had to turn off all the electricity and go outside and gaze up at the stars and just look up at the night sky. And I remember when he said that to me, I looked over at him and I was just like, wow, I'm this human being's mother. I felt so special. Yeah. And then he went on to major in psychology and cognitive sciences, as well as computer science. So yeah, you're going out, our ancestors gazed up at the stars, and it's from that gazing, that outward and inward gazing, the outward gazing of nature, at the cosmos, and the inward gazing at our inner nature and our inner cosmos is what led them to create such intricate, spiritual systems as well as technologies. So it's something to think about. Okay. All righty. So let me do one little reading, and let me check on the time. Oh, okay. I got 15 minutes, which means I'm going to have to get going because I do have a client coming in 15 minutes. Okay, so I'm going to do this reading from Eckhart Tolle, Oneness with All Life. Choose an object close to you, a pen, a chair, a cup, a plant, and explore it visually. That is to say, look at it with great interest, almost curiosity. Avoid any objects with strong personal association that remind you of the past, such as where you bought it, who gave it to you, and so on. Also avoid looking at anything, also avoid anything that has writing on it, such as a book or a bottle. It would stimulate thought. Without straining, relax but alert. Give your complete attention to that object, every detail of it. If thoughts arise, don't get involved in them. It is not the thoughts you're interested in, but the act of perception itself. Can you take the thinking out of the perceiving? Can you look without the voice in your head commenting, drawing conclusions, comparing, or trying to figure something out? After a couple of minutes or so, let your gaze wander around the room or wherever you are. Your alert attention lighting up each thing that it rests upon. Then listen to any sounds that may be present. Listen to them in the same way as you looked at the things around you. Some sounds may be natural, water, wind, birds, while others are man-made. Some may be pleasant, others unpleasant. However, don't differentiate between good and bad. Allow each sound to be as it is without interpretation. Here too, relaxed but alert attention is the key. When we perceive without interpreting or mental labeling, which means without adding thought to our perceptions, we can still sense the deeper connectedness underneath our perception of seemingly separate things. So there you go. That's a nice little exercise. We can get into the habit of just being present, of just, you know, experiencing and taking in whatever is around us without the incessant need for labeling and categorizing and all the other nonsense us humans love to do. I mean, yeah, of course, there's a time and a place and a purpose for that to happen. And also, sometimes would be more better off if we weren't constantly doing that. And let's see, I have 12 minutes, so I'll take 2 minutes and pull one more card. Earth Magic. Have you been out in nature lately? Okay, now these Earth Magic cards are not a what do you call it? Not a substitution for nature, but hopefully they'll inspire you to get out into nature. Okay, so I'm going to shuffle these. I'm not going to read in the book on the card. I'm just going to pick a card. Oh, here's a good one. I'm just going to pick a card and let you meditate on that, and then we'll end the session. Thank you so much for being here with me today. So our card is Forest, is Breathe. See the little white, I don't know, those are doves, or I don't think they're seagulls, but there's a lovely light white birds. Okay. As Bright Celtic Moonlight says, being a natural observer of the present. Yes. So there we go, breathe. So I think this falls right in line with what I said. Get out in nature. Get out in nature, get barefoot, and breathe. Because that breath is truly the breath of life. And when you breathe, Nothing helps to center you, helps to calm your anxiety, your stress, your sadness, like breathing, okay? So hopefully, like I said, hopefully tonight I will have Barbara DeLong on to discuss her cosmic deck of initiation. See if I can hold the hand a little bit better, sorry. And yeah, so hopefully around 8:30 that should happen. There we go, that's a little bit better. And check out, please remember to like this video, like it, share, please subscribe. And if you look in the description box, you'll see a link to my website, www.tamuandngina.com. Check out my website and you can learn a little bit more about me. And you folks have a beautiful, beautiful day. I appreciate all of you. I appreciate your support. I appreciate your energy. And I hope that whatever I've shared here today, you know, you just let go what doesn't resonate with you, and you know, keep close those things that do resonate with you. Get out in nature, barefoot on the ground, and reach up to the sky. I wish you great peace and greater bliss. Thank you.